All right, Mom. I've been excited to talk to you and hear your thoughts on this week's episode of The Last of Us, which was entitled When We Are in Need. So, yeah, what did you think about this week's episode?
Okay, so this week I actually wrote notes,
Oh, wow.
just a little bit because
I
I'm
saw a
so
loved.
torn.
I saw like when
Yes,
you lifted it
it's
up, the big thing that I saw was loved.
loved this episode,
Okay.
but then I'm going to follow it by a big old gigantic but. I loved the episode. I loved it because it was so much like the video game,
Yep.
and that was great.
Yes.
And but
The big part.
the big but is, I feel like I'm mad.
Okay. Let it
We've
go.
got
Why are you mad?
okay. This is going to be ugly. I've been so nice during these reviews all this time,
Okay.
but damn it, they've got all this great source material.
Yep.
We've got this amazing actor playing Joel,
Crushing it.
and
Crushing
y'all,
it.
yeah, he's crushing it,
Yep.
and Bella's crushing it.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
both doing so great. The episode was beautiful, but we've got one more episode left,
Yep.
and then we're at the end of the first game. One season, first game.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
That's it.
By the way, I did want to point out really quickly up front because my wife just watched the episode about I don't know 3 or 4 hours ago. Something I've been curious to hear from her about Bella Ramsey and her portrayal of Ellie because we're tainted. We're tainted with Pedro
Yes.
Pascal's like portrayal of Joel. Everything to do
E- e-
about the
ex-
the show,
yes.
we are coming
It's
into it with
tainted for us.
expectations of what
Hmm.
we want it to be because we played the
Yep.
video game. But I just wanted to say she was like whoever she was like the girl that's playing Ellie on the show is absolutely crushing it, and she loves her so much. She's like because her eyes are obviously very I think that her eyes are the most different compared to the video game Ellie, and I think that eyes definitely trip a lot of people up, but my wife have not seen the video
Right.
game Ellie all that much. She might have watched like maybe a few minutes of me playing like back in the day, for mainly for part two though, when Ellie was very
She was different than.
rage fueled, just
Hmm.
murderizing everybody. So yeah, she's like, oh, she's killing it as Ellie. So I just wanted to point that out because we have
I
had a lot of
actually,
like good stuff about Pedro Pascal as Joel.
yes, I sent her a DM on Instagram. I
Bella
never.
Ramsey.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
I don't DM people that I don't know. I don't do that. And I sent her one and told her what a beautiful job that she did with that episode. That is such a weird fangirl thing to do.
This
I
episode,
never do
this
that.
this one in particular.
Yeah.
Why? Why not?
Yes.
Did you send it on Instagram?
On
Yeah,
Instagram.
who cares?
And
People get DMs all the time on
yeah,
Instagram.
exactly.
Like
If
it's
she,
different than Twitter.
yes,
Like
I
Twitter
mean,
DMs are like
I get
private,
them. Uh, I mean,
which I
I
guess you can
get
get you
them
can
from people.
private DMs on
They're
Instagram.
all private.
Hmm.
They're all private.
Hmm.
Uh,
Oh, that's
but
exactly. You're
I
right.
just,
What I was thinking of was Shaq.
you,
Well, no, because I was just like, wait a sec. I was like, Shaq responded to my DM the other day because I'm obsessed with Shaq and his EDM career. He's doing like all this EDM music and festivals
mm-hmm.
and all this kind of stuff. And I put on my story. I shared one of his posts, and I was like, if I can only do one thing this year, I got to see the Diesel. And he responded. He hearted it, and I'm thinking that that's exactly what you did, but you actually
No,
straight
I
up
sent her. I sent
direct
her.
messaged Bella
Yes, I
Ramsey.
direct,
Did she
and I mean,
respond?
I even said, not as of yet.
When'd you send it?
And last night, and
Oh, right
following
after
like
the
9 o'clock at
episode.
night.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
Okay.
So, and I wanted to just tell her that it was beautiful. It
Hmm.
was incredible.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, this is weird. I know, sending you a direct. I don't know
Did you
you. You don't
actually
know me.
phrase it that
I
way?
did say that.
Oh my
I
god.
said that. So I sounded like a freaky fangirl,
Does
but
she
whatever.
follow
She
you? I
doesn't know
mean,
me.
does she? Oh,
not now.
yeah.
Am
She
I
blocked.
blocked?
Yeah, yeah. You might want to.
Probably.
No,
Probably.
I think that
I'll go check that.
I highly doubt she would block you for saying something nice, because
I
there's
know
been
I
a
said
lot of
something nice.
negative stuff that's been said.
And that's why I sent it
Yeah, good for
because
you.
of all
Good
the
for
negative
you.
stuff. And so I was just like, you know what? I'm going to give the girl some love. And the episode was so
Yeah.
great. It was. So at the beginning of the show, when we have the credits, we have Pedro
Yep.
Pascal, Bella Ramsey, equal credit.
Yes.
He obviously is a much more well-known actor. He's been around so much longer. He's got a gigantic hit show on Disney,
But you don't see his
but they still
face.
gave them you don't see his face. And you don't see his face in this fucking show either. He's never on it. And that's why I'm
Oh
pissed. I'm
wow.
like, I feel like I'm watching the freaking Mandalorian. He's never on screen. We got some good stuff for a second here. There,
He has been
look,
MIA quite a bit for the last couple of episodes. It's like he's just he's
exactly.
over there laid out, or
He's like,
he's off
yeah,
gallivanting doing whatever. Because if I don't have it in
we
front of me, but like
okay.
uh,
No, I can tell you. We
okay,
got the episode with the DLC with
that's
at
right.
the mall.
That was last
So
week.
he wasn't
He
he
was in
was
it.
no, that was the week.
He was basically asleep last week.
Yeah, it was asleep last week.
Yeah.
Then we didn't, the Frank and Bill episode, we got nothing. I mean,
We had the nice little dinner where he
okay,
and
for a
Bill
second.
had their back and forth. That was great.
Well, I'm just hoping that he doesn't get paid by the minute
And
of screen time because he's getting very few minutes on this show.
which is
So
interesting when you think about the context of the first game, right? Because it was the Joel show.
it was Joel's story.
Yeah, yeah,
And they decided that they're going to just skip over that
yeah.
and make it all about Ellie, which is totally within their right. But I don't know. Are they trying to make it where we're not going to be in pain?
Or I mean, maybe that's. I don't see how they could go any other direction in season 2 than what they did with the game. It's going to be really difficult. But I'm with you. It's like maybe it won't hurt as much because yeah, I mean,
Because I don't.
you're not as
We're not all
attached.
in love with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did see somebody, I don't remember if this was a reviewer or a comment or whatever, but they were talking about the fact that one of the big changes from the game to the show in this episode was that Joel didn't pull Ellie off David like he did in the video game. And so they were talking about the fact, was it due to scheduling conflicts? Is because it was such a insignificant change in terms of like, why would you change that? It wasn't like a just crazy thing where you're not even killing off an entire character like Frank was in the game. And so yeah, they were like, why would they have done that? Because it was one of those things where Joel didn't save her in that moment, but he
No,
did. But
in the
he
game,
no, but
he didn't. He didn't save her.
but he still, like, he was right there in that moment. Now, in this one, could you, because they've had this whole theme throughout the first season, especially more so than in the game, of Joel continuously failing. I couldn't speak right. Failing Ellie in the TV show, and how it's messing with Joel's mind. That's why he was having the panic attacks previously in one of the episodes, and like,
Right.
yeah, there's just like this recurring theme of Joel failing. He failed his
Hmm.
daughter. I mean, and when I say failing, it's not like he couldn't do anything about the overwhelming majority of these instances of
No,
events,
no,
but
but
he
him
perceives it
as
as
a
failing.
man and a father,
Yeah.
he feels like he has failed.
Yeah, and so this is like another one of those instances. At least in the game, you could think that he's failing because he gets there like too late to save her, I guess. In this one, he doesn't even know what happened. I mean, obviously he knows that there was some death that happened.
because it's
Um,
all over her.
well, I will. That was one of the things I didn't like about the episode was the fact that it's like I wrote in my notes, wow, Ellie killed the shit out of David, but then it's like 2 seconds later, you can't see any blood on her face, and
Got
she
a, it,
murderized that dude.
it got all over the camera. Why did it
I don't know.
only have a
The camera
very
shots are
vague?
so annoying when they do
Yeah,
that in TV shows,
yeah.
like with the
Yeah,
Walking Dead and
is it necessary for
no.
there to be blood on the camera? It's fine, whatever. That part didn't bother me, but it did. It was glaring at me
Yeah.
when she came out, and she had a little right here, a
Yeah,
little
just a
right
little
here.
sprinkle,
Hmm.
on her face,
Yeah.
cause it and it would have been more impactful. I don't care about the gore, like I don't care about them
No,
cutting
but
away, but when Joel sees her, and if
it's
he,
all over her.
yeah,
But I mean, she could have had a bloody nose that just kind of the
yeah,
wind
yeah,
got
just
on her
well,
face.
it was
Yeah.
super windy, it
Yeah,
might have caught it.
exactly.
So
So I feel like this show is so good. It
oh
really is.
yeah,
It's not that, but I feel like there's such a missed opportunity. I don't feel like I'm getting the relationship that I got in the video game between these two characters. There's
no,
there's no bonding, and
there's like
I mean,
it's
obviously they're bonding, but they're not doing it when we're watching.
yeah, they're off screen bonding, mom. I mean, come on.
Yes, they're off. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a thing, off-screen
Yeah,
bonding.
yeah. Well, my notes in words to describe this episode was rushed yet still a treat. And it's because yeah, like this whole season has been a blessing in
So
terms of getting to
yes,
see one of our
hmm,
all-time favorite games translated and transferred to the screen.
yep,
Real actors, fantastic actors is at
yeah,
that. These environments and sets and everything has been beautiful. But I'm with you. It feels like they are just like trying to get home to dinner,
yes.
and
Why are they in such a damn hurry?
and it feels like it's progressively gotten more that way, of where it's just like this was we really loved doing this for this first couple of episodes. It was really fun, but
Yeah,
then reality set in, and we were just like,
yeah,
I'm tired of this. And
hmm,
let's just hey, come on,
yeah.
let's wrap it up.
They don't need another 10 minutes.
No, yeah, and
Let's
we
just go ahead and make it another shorty.
yeah, cut it off. Which you and I we were texting about the fact that the finale is only 43 minutes long. Uh,
How?
that's like
We haven't
that's the size of a show that is on network TV because they have to have 17 minutes of commercials.
exactly. But no, we don't have to have commercials. We're just
No.
going to cut it short.
Yeah.
Um,
And there's a lot to rush in that
yes.
if
Oh my gosh.
yeah, if they're doing just like the game and the final part of the game on the TV show, like yeah, I feel like it's going to be a speed run. That's more or less what I feel like we're
Oh,
doing is a
it
speed run
is. It
of
is
the first
definitely
game.
a speed run on baby mode.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
going to be super easy to do.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm mad. I'm mad. I got more and more mad as I went along. And I mean,
What was the
he calls
most
her,
mad note that you had on your notes?
I just the fact that they have left Joel with a freaking mask on, and it's some other actor walking through it's the Mandalorian all over again. And
He had to go
how
shoot the Mandalorian. I mean, come on. That
he didn't
season
shoot any of that shit.
that season just came out on March 1st.
He didn't shoot it.
He was just back there just hey,
It was somebody else. Yes,
hey
exactly. He
baby
was doing
Yoda.
the yeah, yeah, exactly.
Maybe not that voice.
Not quite that
Yeah,
sexy.
not that
Yeah,
not
but
those low
uh,
octaves.
I just like when he calls her baby girl.
Yeah.
I mean, I cried. I did cry.
Yeah.
But did I cry because I know the relationship and I mean, you've seen me cry at the drop of a hat where Joel is concerned.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So is that why I cried? And let me just say this, throw this out there real quick. The original Joel got his head chopped off in this episode, and I didn't cry, even though I love Troy Baker. I was just like, I felt so guilty about it.
Did it throw you off? There was a moment in the episode where Troy Baker's character James speaks, and I was like, "Hey,
Wait a minute.
where is?"
What's going on here?
It felt like Joel just spoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very jarring to me, and I thought, honestly, I thought he was gonna have more of a role, and even if it was just a character role in the show. But man, he didn't get to do much. But
No, but it was really cool that they included him. I thought that that was,
oh yeah,
I mean, they do so many things that I love. Like when Ellie is on the ground and, David is on top of her
mm-hmm.
and she's sees the knife underneath the table
Yeah,
that she's trying to, that is exactly, I mean, that's what we're doing. We're crawling towards that knife in the video game.
mm-hmm.
And they even like put a little bit of light on it, like a highlight, just
It's
like we see in the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
Yeah. And so, I mean, I loved so much of this. And this was
Mm-hmm.
probably all the winter stuff
Yeah.
leading up to this in the game is probably my favorite part of the game. Um, so it could have gone on longer.
Interesting that it would be your favorite part of the game when it's the least amount of Joel that we see in the game, but yet you're complaining about not
But
seeing
yet I'm
Joel enough.
bitching.
Yeah, exactly.
Huh, that is very odd.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah, I don't,
it's solely due to the fact that we should have received so much more of Joel up front. We had a whole, we don't have to rehash it, but yeah, there hasn't been enough of Joel's story up front to have that payoff to where it's just like, oh shit, we're getting Ellie's perspective. Like, this is amazing, because we've already seen
yeah.
so much of Ellie's perspective. That's
Of
why
Ellie
they
perspective,
should not
exactly.
have had that episode where they did.
Nope.
I think that
Nope.
just broke up the flow so much of the season. I didn't even think about it, but we were talking about Troy Baker getting to play James in this episode, which it was super cool. I was like, oh, that's awesome. We have not seen Ashley Johnson.
I know.
And she's playing Ellie's mom, so she's got to be in the finale. So
wow, let's just cram that in there.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I'm like, oh,
Wow.
they're gonna. I bet that's the cold open. Putting down my predictions right here.
Okay.
Cold
All
open. Right. Ashley Johnson, Ellie's mom next week. So, so all that being said, I'm with you. I absolutely loved the episode for what it was. It was so cool getting to see these scenes from the game, the little town that David's folks were in. I don't know why they changed up the Ellie, hitting the rabbit with the bow and arrow. It's a gun this time, but
I know.
I mean,
yeah.
She hasn't practiced with the bow and arrow, so I get it.
They get the bunny at the beginning of the episode, and we, all of us gamers went, oh, there is the bunny. There's the bunny. And then, yeah. But I knew she didn't have a bow and arrow, so there wasn't a whole lot she could do about it.
No, she did not. And I freaking loved the guy that played David in this episode.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I went down a rabbit hole looking at stuff about him because he's an amazing actor.
Yeah. Scott Shepherd is his name.
Yeah. And he creeped me out thoroughly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He played that fantastic, creepy, religious fanatic, stereotyped character. I mean, it was, he did a really, really good job. I loved just the fact that whenever he and Ellie first encountered one another, and he was just so calm, so chill, and was completely manipulating Ellie and controlling that situation. I was like, damn, like this.
Yeah, he's good.
He's good.
Okay, so the scene where Joel, tortures the guys.
Oh, jeez.
That was rough.
Yeah,
right?
I was like, damn. Damn. I think I said, yeah, it was, Dazam. Joel really brutally kills those dudes.
When
That's
he
great.
tells the guy, I pop off your fucking
Oh
kneecap.
God, that
I,
my
I
knee hurt. Yeah,
Yeah, me too. I was cringing up. I mean, that was rough, and it
yeah,
was very similar to
hmm
in the game,
yeah.
but it was so much rougher. And
Yep.
I don't know if it's because we haven't seen that side of Joel really.
Well, we haven't seen that really in the game. Yeah, I mean, sorry,
Yes,
in the show,
this
like
yes.
it has been.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about that a couple of weeks ago, where it's just like the violence has been toned down so much,
Mm-hmm.
and it was still somewhat toned down. Well, this is the most. I guess this was the most it was
Yeah,
amped
this
up in
I
this
think
week's
so too.
episode. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you get James' neck,
Mm-hmm.
just hatcheted
I mean,
the
his neck got in the
cleaver.
way. That was all.
It did. I
Just got in the
mean,
way.
James, you next time keep your neck out the way, and
Yeah,
you won't get
exactly.
it cut off. Yeah, no, the violence in this episode
Okay,
was pretty
but I have a
intense.
question for you
Oh,
about it.
yes, hit me with the question.
So, do you feel like we had some foreshadowing
Oh, yes, I
in?
mean, 100%. Like I wrote down
Okay.
that this episode was all about, the repercussions of what we think are insignificant actions, and then
Mm-hmm.
the ripple effect of those actions. Because, yeah, at first I was like, wait a second. I was like, who is David even talking about? That
Yeah, it
what?
took me a minute too.
Yeah, one of the dads was killed from David and them's group, and then he's like, and it's so interesting how everything comes together, and that person was with a little girl, and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
yes, I definitely was like, damn,
Okay, they're setting us up
damn, yeah,
and uh, letting Joel finally be really brutal.
yes,
And I mean, brutal in a way that he didn't necessarily have to be.
no,
Um, so
but
uh,
it was badass watching it. I mean,
was
I mean,
it was
the fact that he is just like stumbling, bumbling, and fumbling to get up from his deathbed, and that little sliver percentage, like if Joel had the health bar in that moment,
oh yeah,
it would be
oh yeah.
pulsating
It,
of death.
yes, and your controller, you would have
Yeah,
been trying to
vibrating everywhere.
push him forward, and he's not moving the same way
Yeah,
that he normally moves. Yeah, so yeah, but he came through. But
he
I
did.
felt like, okay, now you're setting us up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh no, I agree. I was just like, damn ripple effects. I mean, who gave a shit about that guy? And it almost led to the death of Ellie and Joel in this episode. They
yeah,
almost became a part of the venison stew
yeah.
later
Oh,
on, which was gross. Yeah, I loved it. It was
that
that ear.
yeah.
That was gross.
The ear was gross. The just thinking about that meat being something else as she's picking it up and putting it in the pot.
Oh, that scene where
You know,
Joel like stumbles into where they're slicing
oh
and dicing, folks
yeah,
up. I was like, wow,
and
that reminded me of like
yeah, that
Dexter stuff.
yeah,
Is where
yeah,
I mean
it was really brutal.
the ice the ice killer, the ice truck killer, or whatever it is. I don't know. There's a killer in the first season. Spoiler
Oh
alert for
really?
Dexter. It's been out for forever, but it turns out to be like his brother. And
Is it? It's been so long since I watched the first
oh
season of
yeah, I mean,
Dexter.
at this point, it's been over a decade since the first season of Dexter came out. Okay, as we do each and every week, I do want to go through the pictures of
Oh
the
yay! My favorite
comparisons.
part.
I know mine as well. So, alrighty, let's go through memory lane from the game.
Okay.
So here's David having the chat with Ellie in the sawmill. And here is David having the chat from the game with Ellie in the sawmill. And as you can see, I don't know if that's sawmill dust that's all over them, but I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
they again they did a great job.
Yes, but I in my head I said uh, there was way more. wood and windows,
Oh,
because
yeah.
as you play through, that the way it looks in the show is the way it ends up looking,
Mm,
because you shoot through the windows, and if you're not
yeah.
shooting fast enough, all the infected are coming in. So yeah, I was
We
just like, oh
we did miss out on that cool moment.
yeah.
So,
Well, the thing about that too, that was a good bonding thing
mm-hmm.
for Ellie and David, because they had
Mm-hmm.
to survive that together
Mm-hmm.
and rely on each other. So they did have to come up with other ways to make him.
Which they did in a nice way with him giving Ellie the supplies. That
Yeah,
conversation that he had with James, where he's like, "I'm not speaking in code,
yeah,
man.
this is
Like,
not a code.
just go get the medicine
Yeah,
and come
yeah,
back." So I get, from the game to the show, that was their way of illustrating the trust building exercise between David and Ellie.
yeah,
I definitely would have preferred them having to fight it out with against the infected, but hey,
yeah,
it's a small gripe there.
yeah.
This was the beautiful scene as the episode opens with Ellie next to Joel as he is struggling. So sweet,
Yeah,
so sweet right
the
there.
drool on the side of his
Yeah,
mouth
got the
and
little drools.
crusty.
Yeah, got some crusties. Um, and here is a shot of Ellie in David's little
Cage.
cage holding cell in the game. And there it is where she's like telling him that Ellie's the one that broke your
Yeah.
fucking finger.
When when she says, "Oh," because he starts talking to her and he's saying all these things about what great leaders that they could be together,
Yeah.
and Ellie goes, "Oh," realizing it's dawning on her
Yeah.
what this creep wants from
Mm,
her.
yeah, that was that I don't I'm like, did this happen in the video game? Because I don't remember it going to those levels of creep show.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either. Um, but man, he it went it went from like normal levels of creepy to
Yeah.
whoa, you just jumped
Well,
off the deep end of creep.
when and I'm assuming he has done this a lot, because that little girl was the other
I
little girl was very freaked out.
I don't think that he has. I, you
Okay,
think
you just
so?
go ahead and
I mean,
yeah.
maybe he has. I felt like it was
I mean, it
he.
was special.
Yeah, it
Ellie
was
was special.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
he finally
he
found somebody that he thought was an equal,
yes.
but I think he'd been molesting little girls for a really long time, way
Hmm.
back even
Post
before.
pre-apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, I mean, that's why
We'll never know
he
because
deserved
he's
to. Yeah, he
dead.
deserved to die. So,
Yep.
and I hope he burns in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I did really like the call back
Yeah.
to you point, and it better
Yep.
damn well be the same spot that your partner points to back
Yep.
there. And then he just straight up killed the guy. I was like, you didn't even wait.
Yeah. Because in the game, he didn't trust him.
Yeah.
But in
Yeah.
the show, I trust him.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not lying.
Yeah. Come on. But that is great right there. Guess it's just snow. I think that's what that is. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a pile of snow in the background.
Oh,
Um,
I just meant like on their. I think that's what
oh,
I thought it was sawdust. I mean, I remember
oh no, I
it
think
was snowing big time, but I was just like
yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
sure.
I think it was snow.
Yeah.
When he puts the knife in that guy's
Oh
mouth,
God.
I'm like, dang, break out some teeth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was brutal. But
It was.
Joel was
It,
not playing a round.
mm-mm.
And then
Yeah,
that
that
was
scene was really tough in the show. Would you stop with your gigantic head?
and she said, just give me loving.
I will.
Stop ignoring me.
I'll just, yeah, exactly.
Tell her we'll be done in a second. Then she can
Yeah.
get all the love.
If she sees a microphone and me talking into the microphone, she knows that it's time to come.
Yeah, time to come
Yeah,
bother you. Yeah.
because I will try to make her go away.
Yeah, you're like, I will give you
I'm
pets with
working
my.
exactly.
I'm like, what is going on over there? Yeah, that part was pretty crazy. And then, as we can see, here it is in the TV show. Poor
Yeah,
Troy
sorry,
Baker over
James.
here. You're about to get it. Um, this part was phenomenal. Like I was like, whoa, this is so cool. Like, I
I
mean, the
know
the
it
burning
was
building.
it was so great. The
Oh,
only thing that was harder in the game, because it was a more
yeah,
protracted scene.
yeah.
They had broken glass all over the place that you kept having
Mm-hmm.
to avoid because it would give away your position,
Exactly.
and it took me a long time to figure that out.
Oh, this was
I'm
this
like,
was
why
one of
does
the
this
more
dude
difficult parts in the game for
in the
sure.
whole game? Yes,
Yeah. Yep. No, I mean, and it
and
was
I died a
scary.
lot.
No, well, I mean, hey, you know, it
But
happens.
it was truly terrifying.
Yeah.
It's one thing when you've got infected
Yeah.
chasing after you and trying to kill you, but when you've got this really creepy dude that is super smart,
Yeah.
I think that's what made this part of the game so scary.
Yeah. So tense. Yeah.
Hmm.
And of course, it like with the fire and the glass, how it was blocking off all of your points, and of
Yeah.
traversal. It
Hmm.
made it even more difficult. So really cool though to see that. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Just amazing. God,
I thought, wow, David does not give a shit.
no.
He saw the fire start and he's like,
Oh,
I'm
I
getting this little
know.
girl.
Yeah, exactly. That was the one thing I'm just like, man, he did really he gave no craps about
Nope,
the people
none.
in his
No.
flock. They were all sheeple and he
All
was
those,
so
yep,
sick of them.
yep.
I think he was just like, I'm ready to eat all of y'all.
Yeah, I'm eating
You know?
every single one of them.
Yeah. Who's
Yeah,
next for
Yeah,
dinner?
Ellie and I are gonna live
Yeah.
high.
Oh wow. So there's the shot. I mean, yeah, and you see like there's blood all over her face.
Hmm.
From the game. Man, just macheteing. I mean, again, Bella Ramsey crushed it with the
Oh,
intensity. Like I was
she
like,
did.
oh.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
she sold it completely to me.
yeah, yeah. She was.
She sold it enough that I sent her a DM.
You
That's how
did.
much she sold
You
it.
sold it so much. I got in them DMs. You just slid right off in there.
I know, so
Yeah.
embarrassing.
See, like this is the thing. Look at this face.
Hmm.
Now, granted, again, Joel comes up right as she's murderizing David in the
Yeah.
game.
Well, but she doesn't smear. There's no smeared blood
Yeah. See,
in the show.
look
She
at the
didn't.
difference here.
She didn't. That's yeah.
That's just one of those things. It's like you probably in the moment they probably looked
I
at
was
it.
very surprised by it.
Yeah.
Very.
That's one of those really hard things, and honestly, they should have fixed that in post. Like
Yeah,
they,
cover her face up in blood.
yeah, that's one of it's a really weird one to me that nobody in the room because they watched the. I mean, the the amount
Over
of
and
effort and
over
work
and
that
over.
go into making these shows and yeah, I don't know how they
Yeah.
did that. It just looks like she painted her house and
Yeah, I mean it really
like yeah, I don't know.
that's when somebody gets murdered and you're across the room.
Yeah, I mean again, going back to Dexter,
We know all about blood
the
spatter.
blood splatter. I mean, it's just
Yeah. It's terrible.
yeah,
We watched CSI.
yeah.
Her
Come on,
face would have been covered.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Craig Mazin.
Come,
Come on.
yeah.
All right. Well, I will say though, it was still really cool getting to see all of those scenes from the
Was
game
it? It was. It
come to
was. It
life.
was a fan. It was a fantastic episode.
Yeah.
Um, but
We just want more of it.
yes, I'm just pissed because I don't get more. That's it.
60
If I would have
minute
got
long
15,
episodes every
yes,
week.
and I needed more than 9.
Yeah, yeah, we definitely needed at least
Come on.
10 episodes. And not 10 episodes of 42 minutes.
No,
60
listen,
or
HBO
bust.
Max. I won't purchase this app anymore. See, I'm trying to threaten
Yeah,
them. I'm trying to get them,
look at you,
in
you
their
know.
pockets. Yeah. Look.
Hit him in the. My $15 will disappear.
Yeah. Well, and for me, I get it for free because I have AT&T and DirecTV.
Yeah.
But if I paid for
But
it,
I will call them and tell them to not give it to me for free anymore.
yeah, exactly. Just take it off.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. I just needed more.
no, I'm with you. I would have. They just some of these episodes just a little. They need a little bit more breathing room. A little bit more that stuff that we saw with Joel and Ellie when they went. They had to camp out that one night, and they were had the back and
Yes.
forth banter and just all
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
all of that. We just need a little bit more of that. And
Well,
yeah,
forget you, Justin, because there isn't any more of that. We're out of
we
time.
are out of time. So we'd love to hear your thoughts. What did you think about the episode? Drop them in that little comment box down
Yeah.
below.
Or slide them in our DMs,
Yeah,
whatever.
Kelly's DMs. So slide them there. So. All right, Mom. It was fun chatting again about The Last of Us.
It was.
I'm
It was.
very excited though to see what they bring to us in the season finale next week, and then after that, I'm very excited to actually jump into the game because I do want us to go
Yes.
back because that'll at least hold us over,
Yeah, and we'll play the game, and during the game, we'll say things like, "Well, in the show,
Yeah, in the show, it
they
was
did it better."
Yeah, yeah, which they have done quite a few things better in the
Oh
show
yeah,
than they did in the game.
yes, they
So,
have.
yeah.
They have.
But now we'll have
So
both of them. We'll get to
yeah,
complain
that'll
about
be
the
great.
show. We'll get to complain about the game.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as you're not sliding in Neil Druckmann's DMs, then we're all good. So,
We're not going to talk about that.
no, okay, yeah, exactly. All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.